just remembered, I did own one Dark of the Moon toy, other than that Prime, and it was that helicopter. No, never mind. It was the helicopter and one of the Human Alliance $10, the ones that became weapons. I did own those. I remember that for sure. Maybe the Ironhide, but I think that's about it. So here we have Takara Tomy Movie Best Optimus Prime and we are looking at the Evasion mode from Age of Extinction, and right off the bat, the gun is not a real good matching color. I can't remember what exactly the color of the gun was in the movie, but part of me wants to say that it wasn't complete black like this. I want to say it was like somewhat partly gray. I'm not sure, but it still retains its firing gimmick from its original release, and it still retains all the ports and even the clips that the Dark of the Moon Megatron can use, which I do not have anymore, or / yet. I'm not sure, but anyway, well, let's take a look at this figure, and already I am nitpicking this thing to death. First off, if you're gonna tout saying these things are gonna have updated paint jobs, and, you know, charge a premium price for that, paint this! What is this? You know, what are the... What is this? I mean, really good... Uh-oh, come on. No. You know, really good paint job on the actual cab. You even get the very faint flame details that look like they've been rubbed off or eroded away, and you even got rust details on the cab. I mean, you shouldn't get half of the toy right and then just go, just put it out. Like, really? You're going to give me a premium paint job on the cab, leave everything else alone. Granted, yes, he is a little bit more to the colors he was in the movie, but this is more of a halfway point where that in the movie, if I remember correctly, he was gray all the way through. Right? Yeah, he was gray all the way through. And we already got a gray Evasion mode Prime from both sides of the sea, so if this one's supposed to be more movie accurate, I want to say that this was before he got all dust covered and everything. But anyway, let's check out the actual transformation itself. First, we start off by lifting this up and having Optimus look straight at you. But, so, what's going on? What's going on with this? Okay, come on. You gotta lift this up and, oh yeah, almost forgot. Fold that one pipe down and crack open his chest for the first time. And just boop, boop. And then basically this is where he's going to explode. You untab from here on the sides. Kind of have to do that. Push these forward. One at a time on these. Do that. Do that. And spin this around, which will show off this head here in a second. Tilt. Not tilt, but pull the arms down. Push these down, which I really think that this was a really clever mold overall. Push that. Close that. Open the... Push the legs down. Now, I will say this. Don't be scared to move these, because no matter which version of this, there's always been reports of the first time you transform his feet/legs, they're always very stiff and very, very hard to maneuver. But once you get those things done and transform them, they're very, very easy. And you just do that. You undo the knee flaps. You can kind of either leave them out, or they actually do when they're in when they're in car mode. They're kind of sprayed out like this, but you can fold them more against the back like that. And of course, transforming him shows off more paint detailing. Like there is actual flames, because these parts are yet to be these parts in the movie are yet to be actually frayed or discolored. Some really good faux paint detailing on the chest. Nothing really to go home about on the actual forearms, other than they match. Okay, we're gonna lift this camera up just a second. And the first thing I kind of want to point out is, look at that face. I mean, that's where a good chunk of the rest of the money's going to, is that rest of the detailing in the face. I mean, when they get the paint in between the grills like this, here, I'm going to use the... come on. Focus. Focus. Oh, ooh, there we go. I mean, when you can actually get the actual details in between the actual face mask and the side vents, you're doing a good job. And you know, the back of the head isn't painted. His eyes are, I believe, an actual separate piece of plastic. I think they might have colored the light piping, and just fed it through, so it did look like an actual separate piece. And of course, with these painted, they actually look like separate pylons, like they're supposed to be. But some paint detailing in the thighs. What about his back? Well, it's the back, so there's not going to be really much there. And that's just all in the detailing, and that's where most of the gripe of this figure comes from. When you're buying a high-dollar line like this, and they tote about accuracy and more accurate decos and more accurate paint jobs and everything, it's just bothersome. But overall, how is the figure? Well, let's look at his joints. He does have some universal limbs, so his arms can do the whole 360, go in and out. Bicep swivel. The elbow is broken in a way where, if you want to line everything up, his arms are perpetually always going to be leaning forward some. But if you want him laying down, you kind of have to break his arms to an extent. And they stop there. And this part never moves. It's only this part. So visually, it looks weird. He has a double jointed neck, kind of. I mean, you can rock it back and forth. His head is on a slight ball joint, where it's mostly the actual part of the head going into the actual neck. That'll actually stop it. And of course, what can you do with the hips? Well, they can go in, out, forward, back. A slight thigh swivel. Of course, bend at the knee, and you actually get some really, really good ankle tilts. The posability in this figure is really... Oh yeah, and it's got a waist joint. Make it look like he's trying to run and shoot at the same time. Boop. There we go. And as long as you put his feet down, he stays. So the posability on the figure is actually really good. It's just, again, I hate to say it, but I've already touched upon it multiple times, so I'm not gonna say it again. But well, believe it or not, I think this is gonna be believe it or not, this movie best is gonna be the only movie best for a while. I missed my chance to pick up some pre-orders for the I missed my chance to get the other ones, and now I have to wait till August. But guess what comes up next week? Last Night stuff. And trust me, I'm going to be on top of that. I will be picking a lot of that stuff up, especially that gorgeous, gorgeous Megatron. And maybe even try to get a Dark of the Moon Megatron, so I can finally give this gun to its rifle owner. Rifle. But anyway, guys, what can I say about this? If you can get your hand, even though his paint deco is a little bit better, but it looks unfinished. It looks like they only started on his upper body and didn't go below. I say maybe go after the original Evasion mode where he's all gray, where he's more movie accurate. I say go after this one other than this one. But yeah, overall I do like the mold. Just this paint job, just really not feeling it. I'm just not really feeling it, guys. It does make a good shelf piece though. I give it that. Well, anyway, guys, I do really appreciate you guys checking this Wereview out. And next week is going to be part of the Last Night series. So I'll see you guys then, and be sure, and of course, check out Movie Mondays as well. I'll catch you guys later.